war situations,
Yeah,
hunger,
exactly.
other situations where children are dying and so craving to want to learn.
Yeah.
And then we're here in this privileged country
Yeah.
where everything is being given.
And finally he was there, and he was my, and my husband's pressure. And he didn't sleep for 3 years. You know what?
Yes.
What's amazing that you survived this. There
I
was some
survived
drops.
it.
There was some
The
drops
nature.
already.
War situations,
Yeah,
hunger,
exactly.
other situations where children are dying and so craving to want to learn.
Yeah.
And then we're here in this privileged country
Yeah.
where everything is being given socially,
Yeah.
welfare-wise, and it's too much. You
That's
don't
why-
have to fight anymore.
That's why
for
I think we
things.
should learn from those people that they're coming
Exactly.
from war zone. I'm not from war zone, so I cannot
But from harsh
speak
backgrounds.
in their
Yeah.
like kind of in their name. But I know that
Yeah.
I came here because there was something not right in my country.
Exactly.
So if we coming here and we will explain those people to those people, you are privileged.
Indeed.
Imagine that I didn't had this and that. It works different than if you show this on TV, the dying kids, because they're so far away. But
Yeah.
if it's your friend, because somebody is becoming your friend and is telling you this with, tears in eyes, then you start to believe it.
And then it touches people's
then
hearts.
it touches. I think
Indeed.
that's beautiful. That's why we should be happy that immigrants are coming here to Holland, because they can help Dutch people to see how they are in privileged situation. This is also
How lucky they are to have been born
you are.
here.
Yeah, and
Yes.
because we're forgetting that. I
Yeah.
met many Dutch people that they are scared about the democracy in Holland. You're right, it can go wrong. We see
Yeah.
it in democratic countries like the US.
True.
But also, your situation is way, way, way away from that,
Exactly.
to be scared, because you still have so many parties that they trying to talk with each other. You don't have one which is winning.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
that's the risk that you shouldn't take. But you are in privileged position with so many things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many,
That is so true. Yeah.
topics that you can rely on, that this is better than the rest. Water
I
in the
agree.
craan, like politics, from the
Correct.
big to small. That
The fact that we can actually have the discussions is already
Exactly.
such a privilege.
there are countries that there is no discussion.
There's
Go
no-
to
there's
Iran,
no
try to
space
talk.
to be able to do that.
Even what
Yeah.
we're doing now, we're just sitting, two women sitting in the park,
Yeah.
like taking
Correct.
this podcast. It's not possible in many countries in this world.
Or they're not feeling safe enough to be able.
Of course,
Even
it
able
will be.
to,
It will
to
be
do that.
really unsafe to go outside without cover of your hair.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
many places in the world that this is not possible. What we're doing, which for Dutch people is just
Yeah.
regular stuff. Yeah,
And we take it for granted, right?
we're taking for granted,
Yeah.
and that's I think the immigrants can remind us that this is not.
Correct.
This
Yeah.
is something you have. You should be happy, and maybe that will make the people happier here. So I believe in the podcast
Definitely.
two ways, kind of like for immigrants to show that we should do something here, not
Yes.
Not sit on that couch, not this one, but
Couch
at home.
potatoes.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
to be couch potatoes, but
Correct.
to do something. But also for Dutch people to understand that you have beautiful country
Yeah.
with so many possibilities that you should be happy.
To almost be a reminder of how worse it could have been.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it can be because people are scared. So let's just enjoy that we have now, because that will give us, I don't know, a bit of relief, I think. If you think about it, that it
Definitely.
could be so much worse, then you think, "Phew, okay, today I'm in a good position. And let's
Definitely.
focus on today, tomorrow, not
Exactly.
years in front." But so we met today to talk also about your
Yes.
work,
Definitely.
because you are a sleep coach. Can you tell us more about?
What would
does
you
it
like?
mean?
What would you
What
like
does
to
it
know?
mean? Because when
Yes.
I heard it for the first time,
Okay.
especially for mothers, I knew exactly why you there.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if I'm right, kind of like my son, and it was my first kid. I was
Yeah.
waiting for him years and years, and finally he was there, and he was and my husband's pressure, and he didn't sleep for 3 years. Every
Yeah.
night he was awake. Every night he
Exactly.
was crying, and not only that, to cheer him, you had to walk with him for another hour. He would fall asleep in your arms, and then put him back.
True.
Sometimes twice a night. For 3 years, I was a zombie. When I went to work in the morning, I was not sure which day it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it day, night? And when I was lucky to be 1 year with him at home, the first year people will say, "Oh, you could enjoy." I could enjoy because
Definitely.
it is, he was the best.
Your
but-
everything.
my
Yeah.
everything. But he only slept when I was pushing him in the push cart.
In the push cart, yeah,
So
because
I
of the
couldn't
movement,
sleep.
probably.
Yeah, exactly. That was nice for
Yes.
him. So
Yeah.
he slept then. Me not, obviously. And then at night he didn't want to sleep. So I was really kind of like devastated.
Yes, sleep
And
deprived
for
from
my
all
husband, there
sides.
was also a difficult period. So I was going at 7 o'clock to sleep. I
Exactly.
couldn't. He was coming back from work, and I was going to sleep
Yes.
because I was dead. And then I had to come back to work, and I was dead at work. You're not sleeping at night. It is when somebody didn't go through such a unslept nights,
Yes.
he doesn't understand this feeling. But when I went through it, and when I heard that you were sleep coach for mothers, I thought, like, I know exactly why mothers
Yes.
need you. And how are you helping us?
But I must make a distinction because indeed I help the moms basically, and not so much the children as such. Because in my field, you also have sleep coaches specifically for young babies, young kids, and they have such a unique and individual developmental stages that they go through. Their circadian rhythm, for example, is non-existent from the start. So everything needs to develop, needs to, get used to the rhythm that you as the parents have. So when I decided to basically determine my target group to help, I was like, no, I don't want to be for that specific group because there's already quite some sleep coaches, children's sleep coaches. But I want to help the moms that actually then still have the issues that you're actually describing, but the children are already sleeping well. Or
Okay.
that they already there, but that they tend to have these issues following that first stage where they developed insomnia or just not being able to either fall asleep, sleep through the night, etc. Yeah.
So you saying that it stays also with the mothers after the
It can.
kids?
It can. Just because in the first couple of years, you basically, you're so alert for every little sound, every little noise that you could probably think, is it my baby that is waking up, wants to be fed, or has something else going on? Is it something else in the house that is maybe the door hasn't been closed well enough? So all these things could kind of like be more heightened sensory wise.
Yeah.
And the other day I was actually researching something, and I'm not sure if you've ever heard about it, but there is with birds when they migrate. It's actually pretty nice because you also have the target group of migrants.
Yeah.
You have when birds migrate from the north to the south, for example, what you tend to see is that in the group of birds on the side, those birds that are actually kind of like the how do you say that? They oversee the whole group going to where they need to
Someplace,
be as safely as possible. And they have these two brain halves one half of the brain, so the one on the right half brain stays alert, but the other half can go to sleep. And the other bird on the other side of the group has it the other way around. So the birds in the middle can actually, while flying, can kind of like be on as much relaxing mode possible, flying to the destination.
Wow.
And why am I saying this? It's almost, I'm not saying that it's exactly similar, but there is kind of like a hint or an inclination that this could also be with especially young parents, young moms, that one half of the brain is remaining more alert because your child might be needing your care, needing your feeding, etc. And the other half is sleeping. But it feels like, especially, when the morning's there, that you haven't slept at all.
Yeah.
Because that half didn't quite completely
I have that a
shut
lot.
down.
I had that a lot. That I felt that
Yeah,
I didn't sleep. I don't feel
Exactly.
rested at all.
indeed.
But I noticed now, because my son is 10, my daughter slept very well, which is kind of, I see.
They're so different, right?
It is
so
about the
individual.
child, because I
Yes.
felt it's that I'm doing something wrong, especially that mothers are blaming themselves, that maybe
Yeah.
this, maybe that, maybe I went too loud to toilet. I had, oh my God, so many
So many times that happened.
blaming myself for maybe I woke him up, but then
Because you went to the toilet
for
and
ex-
then maybe...
I thought that I woke him up, and then he.
Oh, but that's so... I
Then
think
I
so
started
many
to
parents
go.
can recognize that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We even went, I think my husband happened to mention, just to make sure that our daughter could sleep, we were walking like ninjas in the house.
Exactly.
Just to make sure that you are not the one having the
Yeah.
staircase crack, or, I don't know,
Yes.
stumbling over
That
your own
ninja
feet.
style, like.
Really, I so remember him saying, I went there as a ninja.
Yeah, but it is true,
It
and I'm
is,
thinking now,
yeah.
like me and my husband also kind of like the TV that the lowest. We couldn't
That's
even.
true.
This is the time that we started to put subtitles because you cannot hear. So at least you're reading. Yes,
Correct,
That's
yes, yeah.
terrible time when I still feel it in my body when I'm reminding.
When
this
you are
time.
reminded, that's how intense the experience must have been. But on the other hand, if you think about how loud it is in our womb,
Yeah.
I think a lot of women forget, or might not even have been informed about how it's actually weird that as soon as the baby is, in our world,
Yeah.
that the sounds are so much less than what he or she actually
Yeah. It's
experienced
true, because
inside of us.
I saw one time program that they showed how baby hears all
Yeah.
these veins, movement, everything,
Exactly.
like
The gut,
heartbeat.
the heartbeat.
Yeah, and we kind of like
Exactly.
the baby hears also what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's
And
we
then
sta-
we're
it-
trying to make it as silent
Yeah,
as
yeah,
possible, but
exactly.
that's
Ninjas.
actually
nice.
the counter
But
situation.
but also that it's, for me it was amazing that my other child, so the same parents, the
Yes.
same, you will think, and she was completely different.
Yeah.
She slept like
Yeah.
awesome. When she was hungry, she was waking up, but then she was falling asleep.
Exactly.
I couldn't believe that there is a possibility to like put the child
And she would be,
and she sleeps.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it because
Correct,
my
yeah.
son never did it. He never did
Yeah.
it. My husband was for hours singing him songs.
And going, probably some parents even go on a car ride.
Yeah, I heard about it. We didn't do that, but because we stayed
Yeah.
at home, but our friends did
Exactly. Yeah.
it. And then the dryer is also
Correct.
kind of
The vacuum
yeah,
cleaner
something which is
sometimes, white noise.
people getting so many ideas, because when you cannot sleep,
Yeah.
it ruins you. So you're
Yeah.
trying to invent like craziest idea.
That's true.
And if it works,
Yeah.
you're gonna go like every day.
Indeed. And it's only later that I also started to realize, how are we the parents within ourselves? Because if we are becoming stressed, becoming unrested, uncomfortable, uneasy about it, what do you think happens? Our child feels that,
Yeah.
and then it's not so weird or crazy that she or he also responds to how you are.
Yeah, and and that's so terrible because it's like circle. Like you are not rested, so you kind of like,
It becomes a vicious cycle.
Yeah, and then the child doesn't sleep, and it's all around.
Yeah.
It's going kind of like
True.
what I think helped for my daughter to sleep also that she was not first, so I was not so scared.
Yeah, you knew what you could expect.
Is it kind of that happens to first mother?
I can
first
imagine.
Child?
So I only have one child, so I'm not sure how it would be for a second, but I do hear that indeed with the second or following child, you know what you can expect with having a child, what needs to be done, your rhythm, etc. And of course, it is always different having another child added to the family. But because you have been through it, it's like you kind of maybe accept more. You become a bit more relaxed, a bit more flexible, and the brain of the mom apparently also changes with the first, second, and following child that comes.
Yeah, I heard there is never the same, because we say it's the same house. But I heard recently there is no way that there is the same house because you are getting older, different. I don't know, work in the time. There is not that the children are raising in the same house because you are different. You cannot be the same for many years. Yeah. So my daughter, for sure, she gets more from me, like less panic. I was so panicked with my son because everything's
the first time that you're experiencing
If he gets a fever one time, I thought, he's gonna die.
Exactly.
But he didn't, and he was just having a fever. And afterwards, I kind of, when she had a fever, I thought, okay, it's not so bad. So I know that she gets from me more calm. She got mama, which was more calm.
Definitely.
Papa, who's more calm, because we already had it.
Yes.
And the difference is between them 4 years. So we already had like almost 4 years,
already 4 years experience.
So we kind of were different parents.
Another thing that can be added is you're not the same mom as you were with your first child.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's actually getting another mom.
Yeah, she's getting another mom.
A more experienced mom, a more developed mom, knowing what to expect with raising her kid, etc. And I think that means such a difference.
I think so. That's why maybe she slept so good, because I was not panicking. And then because I was sleeping good, so I was rested. So I was for her, and then I created a good circle, kind of, which for my son, kind of, I'm. People didn't want to believe, and I think that's also for sleep coach for mothers. I think it's when I first time heard that, I thought, finally somebody thought about also us, not only kids, because it's a lot of, like you said, sleeping coach for kids, but funny for mothers, because it's also very often people forgetting, but you wanted the kids. I was waiting 5 years. I wanted the kids. Yeah. So don't complain. I felt that people will think like this.
That you would be judged as a mom for wanting children, but then complaining about the exhaustion.
Why are you complaining? You wanted, So I didn't complain. And when I sometimes mention that I didn't sleep since, few months, people saying, little kids. But they also, I had feeling, didn't believe me that it's every night. But it was exactly every night. So.
And how that must feel lonely and isolating for a mom.
That's why I think the sleep coach for moms, as you are fulfilling that niche that when I was a mother, I missed. That somebody will understand our loneliness,
and
the
hear
mothers,
and see what they're going through.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think with that V created with the birds. I started to, because I'm in the background, I'm analyzing what you said. But when now, already I said that he's 10, my daughter is almost 7, so it's years and they sleep good. But for me to sleep good, I always have to put like, earplugs. I think I'm trying to shut down still that
background noise.
Yes, that. Because I'm like that bird still, because I was trained for years.
Over the years.
And I was trained also when I was young. I feel that when I'm now quickly think about my childhood, I was always the one who's listening. If everything is all right
Exactly.
around my house, I was the one who's kind of checking if everyone is
But then you've
in the
actually
bed.
found a tool that helps you
Yeah.
to be able to
Exactly.
let go.
Is
Yeah.
it a tool that you recommend to shut down?
Definitely, because one of my clients actually was a couple of years ago. She mentioned to me that she would get tense when the night started, basically, and she could sometimes hear, I think it was either mice or rats in her ceiling. And the noise of that, you know, and it's not like you can really do a lot about it unless you really have them go check it out and have them removed.
Yeah.
But I remember her mentioning that because of that noise and the tension building up towards the night, which kept her from sleeping very quickly as she would like, she then used earplugs, even before she actually asked me for help with her sleep issue. And I think, what did she do? I think she had one in and one out. So that just
So
to have one.
I had that also because when one of my children is sick, I'm putting only one because
just in case.
Just in case. I want to hear if there is
Indeed.
something like louder,
Indeed,
but not the basic sounds. I also I can relate with this sounds of like rats or something in your ceiling. I slept at my mother-in-law house,
Exactly.
and she has flat roof, and sometimes you could hear the
Little
birds,
ticking.
like the birds' feet, kind of tick, 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 tick. And that was, I couldn't sleep because I was tick, 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 tick. And that was,
Exactly.
so then it is
I have it with these old clocks.
Oh yeah,
Those very traditional.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I so remember. My daughter loves this story. I had to tell it. I had to share it many times for her to kind of like unwind. But I used to go to my grandma's a lot when I was a student, and I would stay over with her while she was staying at this like senior building where she had help, support, etc. And I would always sleep in the living room on this mattress, but she had this clock in the kitchen, which was right near, and I would always, when she was already asleep, I would go into the kitchen, put the clock in a drawer or something. And then when she would wake up the next morning, was busy, she's like, Cheryl, where did you put my clock?
but
it becomes so loud in the evening.
When you start
And
to
during
focus,
the day you would never hear it.
No,
But
you don't
then,
hear it. Yeah, night is terrible.
Yes,
but
yes.
also I heard that the people that they have such a clocks, they don't hear the clock.
They're so used to it.
I think you're used to that's also people that they live next to the train station, they don't
Correct.
feel it after
So it's what you're
some
accustomed
time.
to as well.
Exactly. So
True.
for you it was new, and I also don't have such a clock. I would hear it also for sure.
But for me, it also was that it made me feel my own heartbeat better, and I didn't want to hear it. I mean, I know I'm alive, but I don't have to hear the heartbeat as
because then I think it's going that your ears are getting like more and more sensitive when you
like
don't
it's
want
almost
to
like
hear.
the decibels were increasing with every.
I have
every
such a
second.
feeling when when I hear some sound that I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
That's true. But I wanted to ask also about the fathers, because you said the birds are flying and one part, but I have a feeling that the guys don't have it. Like
it's good that you mentioned it, because I wanted to share something about what tends to be evolutionary the case. Not for everybody, of course, but it tends to be that we women have always been in the caves or in the village or with the community, with other women, taking care of the kids, preparing food, etc. And the men went to hunt and to gather the food that we would then eat later. And I believe that because of this evolutionary process, men have been more developed to hear external sounds. And we women have been more in tuned to hear and become alert for things happening within the house.
It can be, but
seems to be.
We need to wait then, because now the guys are not hunting. It will come probably that they will be also, because now the guys also very much involved in the with kids, and very often there is like one night father is standing up,
True.
one night mother.
Very true. Yeah.
But it will take a while, but maybe it will also
Yeah.
come, because it is changing, but
Yes.
it is many years.
And
We will
honestly,
not.
I mean, you know, some men have it just by naturally that they are much more light sleepers, so they will wake up way quicker than their partner would. But from an evolutionary perspective, this seems to be one explanation why a lot of women that I've spoken are like, why doesn't he wake up in the middle of the night and I can hear the baby crying from the other room?
Yeah, my
Yes.
husband asked me to wake him up when
Yes.
the child cries, because he didn't hear it. So I had to wake him up when we made the deal that this is his night. So I had to be awake to wake him up.
If I'm honest, I
Yeah.
actually also sometimes just kept silent a little bit longer to see if he would wake up or not.
And my husband is not. I can be
But
bombed.
it
He
wasn't
will
always
not
helping.
wake
No.
up. And now my kids can sleep like. It's amazing. Now my son is 10, so he wants to
Yes.
join. But before, when there is New Year's Eve,
Yes.
it's very loud, and he could sleep. And I
Right
was
through it.
3 years not sleeping, and then now he suddenly sleeps through this, like
Amazing.
yeah.
Yes,
So now they're sleeping very deep. Both of
Yeah.
them, they can sleep when there's a
As soon
storm
as they
or
sleep,
something. Yes,
anything can happen.
yes.
And
But it was
yeah.
not like this for
Yeah.
many years. But
Okay.
so I'm happy now. I can sleep.
So what helped you to overcome that sleep deprivation that you had with your son?
I was thinking that you said that it's insomnia with many mothers. I don't have it, but I think I very early started to put earplugs. I think that helps me a lot.
Exactly.
When I'm putting them, I feel like I'm going also to the stage that I have like crazy dreams, so that means that I went in the deep sleep. So I had like
Very
long,
vivid.
exactly. So I know that
images,
I
yeah.
slept good. So I think the earplugs, I put them on years ago already. When I know that, for example, that was my husband's turn for night, then I was putting them on, and I was, I slept
Exactly.
all night.
Oh,
So that was my,
fantastic. Yeah.
that was my, I think, one thing. And the second, when my mom passed away and we moved to Holland,
Yeah.
I went through some kind of change that I started to feel alive.
Just by moving
Yeah,
from
I think that
places?
facing so close by the death, it taught me that kind of like your days are here counted.
In the sense of they're not unlimited.
They are not unlimited. And I started to feel, hey, use this time like as best as you can. And
Beautiful.
it is, I sometimes recall my kids where they were young. I was at home with them, like a slow motion. People think about past like
Yeah. Like
train, and I have like slow motion because we enjoyed. They got mother, who enjoyed like going to the park
Exactly.
where we are. I was here every day with them, always. Even when it was rain, or it's nice to jump in the in the water, in the mud.
In the puddles,
Always something
yeah.
to do. So we kind of we were coming into the nature and spending time with birds singing, because I was telling them, look how happy we are. The birds are singing around us. You know,
really be present.
I was present.
Exactly.
And I think because of the whole day, I felt. I can imagine the mothers on the end of the day. They feel. I didn't have time today for my kids. I didn't succeed today, even though I planned to be present. But I was
Exactly.
I was trying always for the. I felt that I don't know how much time I have here to enjoy every moment, and I think that gives me that. On the end of the day, I'm looking at my kids' photo I have next to my bed, and there is a sentence. You are good enough.
Exactly.
That what I wrote to
Beautiful.
myself
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
and also thanks to therapy, which I went through after my mom passed away, and when I came here also. And I think calm. That's why I'm falling asleep easy.
Amazing. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you mentioned. You were going through stuff and you actually sought help.
Yeah.
You sought support to
I did. And
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't be scared of asking for help.
Exactly. And I think,
Because why to be so miserable?
and why do we always want to do it alone?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were taught kind of this is your household, keep it there,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
keep it tidy. This and this. You have
True.
so many things
Well
to do.
organized, structured.
Yes, everything is on our head, and it's
Yeah.
still because it's not so much change, but
True.
like the cave, but we still
Yeah.
have a lot of stuff to do. And I had to wash. It's not that I could sit all day in the park. I had to
Exactly.
do the stuff. But besides those, try to be present. I had one time, my daughter, I was putting her to sleep, and I felt that my thoughts went somewhere else,
Yeah.
and I had a feeling that she felt that. She looked at me
Okay.
kind of like bringing me back, kind of like
Asking for your attention, probably
asking
in a
for-
way.
Yeah. And I felt, hey, she felt that
Yeah.
flew away.
Your energy went
Amazing.
away. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I said, but I come back. Think about now. And I started to sing with her, and we both kind of relaxed. So
Exactly.
it works for us.
And really becoming present with each other.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something what's also happening with a lot of us nowadays, with our work, with our mobiles. Everything is available, needs to be dealt with, responded to. And you can be there physically as a mom, but are you there mentally?
Yeah.
And I think that is something that is really a challenge currently.
It is a challenge
Yeah.
because it's like work stuff are coming back to you in your
Yeah.
head, or list of shopping. It is attacking you all the time
Correct.
and everywhere you are. So
Input keeps coming
yeah.
in. It's almost 24/7.
and if
kind
you
of,
have
yes.
had like I have like always, I'm trying to plan because how
course.
else to have a household,
Yes.
and then it's coming to you. But I noticed that moment with my daughter that you can work with these thoughts. Kind of, you can say to yourself, because you are
Yeah.
the boss. I'm all the time also telling my
I'm
kids,
the boss of my
you
thoughts."
the boss of your thoughts, exactly. You are the boss here. So
That's
put your,
amazing.
put the in your
Yes.
hands. So I'm telling to myself also, hey, come back here,
Yes.
come back here. Kind of like
Yes.
later you will decide which meat you will take from freezer. It is not.
And what is important now?
Exactly.
Because we have so many priorities, so many things that we would want to achieve or do in an hour, in a day's time, in a week's time.
Yeah.
But does everything need to be done simultaneously?
Exactly. We
I
want
think that
everything
is one
at
of the
same
biggest challenges as well. And trying to find that balance. Is everything as important as we think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
it is part, I think, of your coaching. That too, because
Yes, yeah.
I was when I was thinking about your job, it is
Yes.
with mothers. It's not to teach them sleep, but to teach them to forget this, like multiple thoughts they coming to you.
Well, and to also indeed feel seen, feel heard, and that what they're going through it's not their fault. I think that could be something that women, moms could be
Yeah.
be pretty harsh towards themselves, feel guilty
Yes.
maybe,
I was
when they
yeah.
choose, for example, to work a bit more rather than spend more time with their kids. But you can't always be 100% mom, be 100% working, entrepreneuring, be that full-time partner to your husband. That changes every time.
Exactly. Somewhere
Yes.
always you are not full, but
Yeah.
I think that's very difficult. What you said about to work a bit more.
Yeah.
This is money is important, kind of. So we have to work to get money. So
Definitely.
this is a challenge that we have.
Indeed.
I think all the mothers also, that we
And-
cannot sit at home and enjoy
And just do nothing.
Yeah, it would be nice.
And I can imagine, especially if you also have single parents, single moms,
Yes,
single dads,
yes.
that's a completely different situation.
Exactly, all on you, and
you can't indeed do it as perfectly as we would like. Yes.
that causes a lot of, I think, issues with sleeping for mothers. Yeah.
Yes.
But
Indeed.
We also met because it's podcast for also to show a bit of life of that people coming from abroad to here.
Indeed.
And you also came
Yes.
years
and years ago, almost
But-
30 years ago.
30
Oh my
years,
gosh,
wow.
yes.
Yeah, so I'm only 7 years ago, but
Yeah.
still, I would like to ask you about
course, yeah.
that. So you came from which country?
So I came from Suriname. I had finished my high school there. I was still 2-3 months 17, and
So young. Yeah.
pretty young. And so I emigrated here. My parents settled me down here, but I had the chance to stay with family.
Okay.
But for some reason, I can't even remember too vividly. I told my parents, if I'm going to emigrate 8,000 kilometers away, I might as well go independently straight away. So what
17, you think you're so grown up. Yeah.
If I think about it now, it's like I'm not going.
know.
I wouldn't be able to initiate it like that. But I then went into a student's house
Uh-huh.
or student flat, as they call it, and basically stayed there for the first couple of years of my studies. And from there, I started working, even though I actually had the plan of going back to Suriname, because I had this whole ambition to go back, help build up my country. But nobody really tells you, or maybe I didn't want to hear it at the time, is that basically I kind of closed down not closed down, but I kind of closed the chapter of my childhood there, and my adult years started here. So, I actually met new friends, had different relationships, different jobs, and you built up your life.
Yeah.
And by building that, you kind of come into that that question of, oh, am I now going back, having to then build everything all over, or am I going to continue and see what happens here? Yes.
And this is, I think, and it came to you, this question that we all
All
have
feel?
after years, like you said, building here.
Correct.
You're building the life. It cannot be different. You cannot sit
Exactly.
and just
Yeah.
pretend that you live. You have to live. You have to have maybe friends, maybe partner. Something is
You
here.
need to make it your own
Exactly.
life.
And then
Yes.
when you're coming back, let's say to the place that you were born, you are not home anymore. People are
You're
saying
not the same as when you left.
You're not,
No,
and
correct.
that place is not the same, because
No.
even though you're meeting them like once a year, twice a year, maybe for holidays,
Correct.
it is always different than when you will be day after day in that
Definitely.
country, because then you have to face different decisions than
Yes.
on the holidays. Holidays are always great.
And you get used to everything here in
And
comparison with there.
Especially
I mean,
when you were 17, then you
Definitely.
know the whole system here, like
Yeah.
educational system, like you like language-wise, everything.
Yes.
The street language that you left is changed because people
Yes.
talking about different
Correct.
jokes.
Definitely,
because
yeah.
they're making jokes based on some commercials that you were not seeing.
and
them.
you didn't see it, so you
No,
can't
yeah.
relate. No.
Like I have now problems to understand the music in Poland, even though it's only 7 years.
Exactly.
But they develop in the new, like they love some music. I didn't participate in this.
Exactly.
You know,
So
I didn't
it's
go for
harder to kind
concerts.
of comprehend
Yes,
the whole
the old
vibe,
ones I
but-
remember, but the
Yes.
new ones kind of like which
Yes,
ones are trend now. And also
Yeah.
I'm getting older, so it's also changing my
Yeah.
what I like to hear.
Exactly.
No, it's for me and for many people that came from abroad and are here for some time. It's also the question, like that's not anymore home.
Yeah.
It's like visit place, and we feel something amazing in that country that we're coming from
Definitely,
and we're
yeah.
visiting. Like the smells. I
Yeah,
don't know if
definitely.
you have this.
Oh.
Like smells,
The
taste.
temperature, the smell, correct,
Something
yes.
is like, I
Yeah.
recognize this.
As like a feeling of coming home.
Feeling like
correct.
coming home. But then
Yes.
if you will analyze this for real, to go there and
Yes. Yeah.
it's just so many questions in your
Definitely.
head.
And actually, while you're mentioning this, another thought came through in that in order to build your life here, because I knew I had at least 4 or 5 years of studies to do. So in order to have that mindset of continuing, doing well, building your life here, I didn't do it consciously, but it's only when reflecting back on that time that I now kind of realized that in order to really build that life, it was also necessary to kind of let the other go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise you would feel like having one leg here, one leg there,
Yes.
and then you actually, at least for me, I didn't feel like I was integrating fully. But I did feel guilty for not having that leg there, because I mean, I've many times my parents used to say, and you don't watch the news or read the newspapers, you have no clue what's happening here. And I always felt guilty about that. But now that we're talking about it, I also feel like I think it was necessary for me, I can't speak for anybody else, to be able to integrate and become a full citizen here. Yeah.
I think this is also what we would like to also tell people, that you have to, and that guilt, many people are like one leg here.
Yes.
You are a different scenario, and you saying about the guilt. So always there will be some struggle.
Always.
But I think the moment that you will decide, no, I have to dedicate myself here because it's my new world.
My new home, my new...
Exactly.
Correct.
And maybe you will feel a bit guilty that you don't follow the news and everything, because you have to resign from something.
Definitely. Yes.
This kind of conversations are for me
Yes.
very valuable, because every time I'm meeting someone, I'm learning something
different?
very important for my next chapter. You know, I don't know how to even explain. Like you said about those birds, it's in my head that what I always thought, there is a leader, the front one, and he's the most important because he's the leader. Yeah. And he's, I don't know, the brave one that is going. But without this on the back who's hearing everything, they cannot rest.
Exactly.
So how important is that?
And to work together, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that person is taking care of the rest can
the rest of the group.
a bit of sleep or be switched off.
Exactly.
So that sometimes I was thinking that it's very bad that I hear everything, but now when you said it, I'm starting to feel like this is beautiful that I hear everything, because this is my also I have kids and I can hear them, and whenever it happens, I'm gonna react. So I should be proud of myself that I have this.
Definitely. And I'm really happy that you mentioned this, because sometimes from a sleep coaching's perspective, it almost sounds like we always need to be quiet in our head. And I happened to see a video which was a bit of a satirical one, where this mom actually kind of in a funny way criticized that the wellness branch is always motivating moms, young moms, to to be quiet and relaxing and unwinding. And she literally said, if I was really in that state all of the time, I would not know what my kids were up to. If it's too quiet at home, something's wrong. So I think it's also a nice way to be in that position where you share this information, and that you don't have to be how do you say that? Be so harsh towards yourself, because these things are there also for a reason. And if you know where it comes from or why it's there, it can help to accept things.
Yeah, exactly.
And how biology works, how your body works, how your mind works, and and move on from there.
Yeah.
And there will be times that there's a lot of stress, a lot of frustrations, but that too will pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so kind of now into my head with that it is my task was to hear my son, because that was my kind of job, to keep also my husband rested. That was my task at the
Indeed.
moment.
Yeah.
And now I'm putting earplugs. Sometimes I feel guilty that then I will not hear them. But
Okay.
you took it now from me, that guilt, because it's now I can.
It
My
helped you
kids
to
are big
actually-
enough to come to me.
Exactly.
If there's something wrong, they can
Yes.
to come to me. You know,
Exactly.
it's that guilt.
Of not being available.
Yes.
Yes.
Why? I can switch off,
Exactly.
and they are big enough to even they waking up today. Kind of
Yes.
they can wake up in the morning. They can make own breakfast. They can survive.
Exactly.
You know, it's then why we so
And it's indeed these
stressed.
convictions that we have, whether it's from our own upbringing or from our own perspective, education, that we, have these convictions of how we should be
Yeah.
and how available we should be and how present and how this and that. But there's so much more nuances to, how it can be. And we don't have to do
Yeah.
it perfectly. I mean, what is perfect? It can
Yes.
also be different for everybody. And what do we actually teach our kids with these convictions as well?
Exactly. Now I also feel that they will stand up alone
Yes.
and they will make that breakfast themselves.
Exactly.
It's only better for
Or there'll
them.
be mom's alarm clock.
Yeah, it's not that I have to do it, because then my son is 10. He can perfectly prepare the breakfast.
Correct,
And
yeah.
he's even happier. Sometimes he's so happy that he could,
Because
prepare
he's
for
confident,
us.
independent,
Yes.
all these skills.
We
that-
want to learn that to kids.
Exactly.
We want to teach them to be on their own, because
Exactly.
we don't know what future will bring, and they should know how to make their own
Definitely.
breakfast and food.
Yeah.
And like you lived in a student house, I also did, and I
Yes.
think this is also great life
Yeah.
experience. Because if you went through
Exactly.
some years,
Yes.
few years, and it's enough to know where is your place in the team, because there is a team.
Definitely.
It has to be team.
Yeah.
You cannot be just focus on yourself. Everyone, there has to be somebody who will clean this
Indeed.
week or this day.
Or
kind
we
of
had the schedule.
the schedules.
And
Exactly.
some
we had
people
the
never
schedule.
keep it the
Yeah, then you
schedule.
have to, exactly. And then you see also who's who in the team, because some
Correct,
people
yeah.
will they
Yeah.
prefer, like, okay, then I prefer to go with the bin bag
True.
than to clean the toilet.
True.
But okay,
Yeah.
and then you can
You get a rhythm going
it
as well.
teach you also so many, like how to have discussion with
True.
people that you like, not to have a
Yeah.
fight, but to have a
Basically,
nice,
people outside of your close by
yeah,
families
it's not
and
your
friends.
family, so you have to
Indeed, yeah.
you have to make deal to live with them. In the, yeah, I kind of like
True.
we had it.
Yeah.
Taught me so much. I'm appreciated.
Definitely,
And
yeah.
even though sometimes I was mad at some people that they didn't clean, for example.
Okay,
but on
correct.
the end of the day,
Yes.
it is such a good lesson. So I recommend also for parents to
to
let
have
their
them
kids
have their kids fly out, and
Exactly.
then they tend to compare as well as how was it at home with my parents. I mean, nowadays
Yeah.
my daughter is, for example, in the brugklas, first year of high school, and she was mentioning something about what's happening at a friend's place,
Yeah.
and she really looked at us. It's like, wow, you guys are actually pretty relaxed parents, And the other day we were even talking about punishing or not punishing, and we only remember this one time where one punishment for her was to sit in the hall because she didn't eat my food, and now I'm even thinking like,
Yeah.
why would I do that? I mean, if she didn't want to eat, it's fine. She always had to taste. That was one condition that I always had her
Yeah,
go
that's
through.
good also to try.
But she
Yeah.
didn't want to try it and not eat it, and then
Yeah.
a couple of minutes there. But then she compared it to some friends
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how they were being punished. It's like, wow, we never did these things. But then again, she was a good kid most of the time, or actually,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's
all
also
over the time.
that's also nice to that comparison. We started with this.
Yes.
That's kind of like the life that we provide to our kids. They don't know that they are privileged.
Correct.
So it's good to have
it's a
some
beautiful,
comparison. Like we
definitely.
kind of came back to the beginning. Like,
Ah,
wow,
how it should go.
it's amazing.
How natural that
How
goes.
natural. Yeah.
Fantastic,
This is it with conversations with
Yeah.
open mind. I
Indeed.
recommend to everyone And doesn't matter if you are new here or not, just try to go to some kind of like, in Zoetermeer we have that pièce or places that you can meet people from different worlds.
Different backgrounds,
Yes.
different cultures.
And try to talk, because it can bring you such a beautiful like discussion like we had today. And we make the circle to the beginning while we went through so many different topics. But at the end we came back to the what the kids should know, and like we all, that we have luck to be here
and to be
healthy.
correct.
Like we can sit here and just enjoy that we're living in this world.
Exactly. Yes.
It's such a privileged place.
And therefore be grateful for what we actually have, the people that we have around us and that we can fall back on, and how connection and community, how important that is. Yeah.
Amazing. I really enjoyed that conversation. Thank you very
Same
much.
Here.
Thank you very much. And you know what's amazing, that you survived this.
I survived that.
There was some
nature.
drops of rain. Guys, there was drops of rain and you didn't move. Kind of. Sometimes I also...
You know, I was actually thinking, is it maybe poop from the birds?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I was like with my head. But no, it's all right. It's
we're continuing.
It's good. Really kind of like
I really
good
enjoyed our
motivation.
conversation.
Thank you. Me too.
But also coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, trying to understand where, the other person is coming from, the choices that they make. And I think that's where we can learn so much and get touched by so much.
I think that's why the people are scared about immigrants, and I understand also why. I'm not blind for those reasons, but also let's not put everyone in the same box. There are also immigrants that they really can make this country better, like richer and more interesting. I also don't want to have violent people that that they're going to do something not nice to me, kids.
Of course.
Nobody wants that. No. Nobody. They also, people that, immigrants like me, kind of, I also don't want that. But we want to also point that we're not all the same. We're also good people among us, and accept us.